In this day and age, it seems crazy that racism is still around. Sadly, it remains a deep-rooted issue in many places around the United States. Some people are stuck in the ways of the past, and it's difficult to tell when they're going to change. You'd think the younger generation would be less inclined to believe racist stereotypes considering how technology has brought them so far and made information more accessible, but you'd be very surprised. For example, one young white woman named Sophia Rosing was filmed in a horrifying display of intolerance as she attacked a black woman named Kyla Spring. Both the victim and the perpetrator in this attack were students at the University of Kentucky. Late one Saturday night in November 2022, 22-year-old Sophia drunkenly stumbled into the Boyd Hall dorm building. At the time, Kyla was working at the front desk. She probably saw many students come in at all hours while under the influence, but this particular incident stood out when Sophia launched into a violent attack. While remembering that night, Kyla told reporters about some of her job duties. When a drunk student comes in, she's required to call a resident assistant so they can write a report. It was pretty obvious as soon as Sophia walked in that she'd had a little too much to drink, so Kyla poked her head over the front desk and simply asked if the suspect was okay while requesting her ID. Instead of answering like a civilized person, Sophia refused to give any form of identification and immediately started insulting the clerk. Kyla tried to stop the woman from going onto the elevator after calling for help. She had to calmly grab the suspect while trying to get her to sit down. That was an impossible task though, since Sophia was hell-bent on continuing her racist tirade. In over 10 minutes of video footage captured that night, Sophia called the victim the N-word over 200 times in a drunken rant. She was seen taking multiple swings at Kyla, who blocked the punches and held onto the woman's hands to protect herself. She was filmed saying, "I do not get paid enough for this," as if holding in her anger, while Sophia called her a and other derogatory phrases. It probably took a lot of courage and restraint on Kyla's behalf to hold back while being targeted. On top of everything, the suspect also kicked the victim in the stomach and tried to ram into her with a shopping cart inside the dorm's lobby. Luckily, there were multiple witnesses who saw everything, including one of Kyla's close friends who was bitten by Sophia. They were able to film the incident and make sure things didn't get too out of hand before police got there. While waiting for authorities to arrive, the suspect yelled at the young women, claiming they ruined her life. She was right about her life practically being ruined, but make no mistake, it was no one's fault but her own. Even when officers did show up, Sophia didn't calm down. She refused to tell them who she was and kept yelling at Kyla. While putting her in handcuffs, one of the cops said, "Hey, guess what? You're going to jail." The girl didn't like that and responded by apparently kicking and biting an officer. So, on top of public intoxication, assault, and disorderly conduct, Sophia got an additional charge of assault on a police officer. When news of the racist attack got out, the University of Kentucky publicly condemned Sophia's actions. In a statement, they said, "The safety and well-being of our students is our top priority, and we will not tolerate behavior that threatens it." The school's Office of Student Conduct also privately reached out to Kyla and her friend to give any and all support that they needed in moving forward from the traumatizing event. Many students say the school didn't do enough though, since Sophia wasn't immediately expelled. The footage of the attack was uploaded on almost every social media site, and outrage was sparked. A few days later, a crowd gathered outside of the university's library to show their support for Kyla and express their anger at the situation in a march against racism. Several people spoke that night, including Kyla, who cried while delivering an inspiring speech where she addressed the lasting issue of racism in schools around the United States. To Sophia, she declared, "You will not break my spirit." The victim's mom, Betsy Spring, was also at the rally and told news outlets that they couldn't just sit in silence when their daughter was targeted. Before we move on, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this story so far. What would you have done in Kyla's shoes? Do you think you could have stayed as calm as she did? Well, let us know in the comments down below. And while you're there, subscribe to You So Crazy to see more informative videos and stories like this. Now, back to the action. So we now know what Sophia Rosing did, but who is this young woman after everything that happened? She left the University of Kentucky where she majored in business and marketing. Other than school, Sophia was a brand ambassador intern for the internationally recognized department store Dillard's. She was also part of a student group named College Fashionistas. After the attack, Sophia was quickly fired from her internship after the company was made aware of her racist behavior. They posted on their official Twitter account saying that they don't approve of the young woman's actions at all. The student group also cut ties, claiming that they'll make sure to improve their members' vetting process in the future. Sophia's dad, Paul Donald Rosing, is a technology executive for a company called Messer Construction. It seemed the young woman grew up fairly well off, and she had no issues making this known to other people. Yes, you heard that right. The attack with Kyla wasn't Sophia's first big controversy. Not at all. Rumors of her prejudice and hateful behavior go all the way back to her high school days. While just a teenager, Sophia was a certified mean girl, allegedly. She was responsible for doxing a 15-year-old who went to the same school as her. Multiple individuals claim that Sophia spread rumors that the high schooler sent out nude pictures. She also lied, saying the same girl had to get an abortion. In this case, it doesn't seem like Sophia physically harmed the unnamed teenager, but as many of us know, words can cut deeply during that difficult period of life. Even if she was still a minor herself, Sophia should have known better by high school not to be a bully. Another incident took place a few years prior at the University of Kentucky during a party. Luckily, video evidence was taken for this incident too, so we know for a fact that it happened. We aren't exactly sure what sparked the outrage, but in the footage, Sophia proudly announces how rich she is compared to the person she's talking to behind the camera. She insults the unnamed individual's outfit and goes on about how she could sue them if she wanted to. Based on the woman's tone, it was very obvious that she was intoxicated during this exchange of vague, offensive threats. So it's clear that Sophia isn't a little angel from Lexington, Kentucky, even if that's what she'd like people to believe. Her outburst towards Kyla from last November wasn't a one-off incident. The woman has a clear history of entitlement, which culminated in this assault. Despite this, her family says the attack was completely out of character for Sophia. Others who knew the girl had different opinions. One of her former classmates at the university said that they'd never seen Sophia act overtly racist, but she did have some anger issues. After Sophia's arrest, she was released from jail on a $10,000 bond that her parents helped pay. While leaving the jail, she tried covering her face with a piece of paper, but photos were still taken. The lawyers defending the woman have stated that they're going to put Sophia in a rehab program to help her tackle what they called issues. She'll also have to take racial sensitivity training. While the outcome of her case is pending, many people have called for her to be charged with a hate crime on top of everything else, but this has yet to happen. As of March 2023, Sophia and her attorneys entered a not guilty plea. This is surprising considering the sheer amount of evidence prosecutors have against her, including the 10-minute-long video of the assault and multiple witness statements. Sophia was officially indicted on the counts and is supposed to make her next court appearance in May. While entering her plea, Sophia wore a suit jacket, glasses, and her hair in a low bun to look as professional as she could, but let's be honest, she's not fooling anyone. Her lawyers say that she's experiencing remorse over the night she attacked Kyla, but this may or may not be to save face in front of a grand jury. So while Sophia faces criminal charges, Kyla has used the recent media attention on her to share messages against racism. Since footage of her attack went viral, she's made an appearance on CBS Mornings with her mother Betsy. When asked by the show's host, Gayle King, what she would say to Sophia 1 month later, Kyla said that she hopes Sophia will take the negative attention she's receiving and use it as an opportunity for growth. Kyla wants her and others who might share similar hurtful opinions like Sophia to educate themselves and learn. Betsy chimed in that she was afraid to see how people would react to the viral footage. She claimed that there's just a lot of ugliness still remaining in the US, and she didn't want Kyla to have to see it after everything she's been through. Luckily, it seems that Kyla is an incredibly strong person and will recover from the traumatizing attack. She's behaved with such grace and sincerity in the wake of this incident, more than most would be capable of. We'll have to wait and see what ultimately happens to Sophia. More than likely, she'll be found guilty and she'll have to face the consequences of her actions. Whether that means time in prison, sensitivity training, or something else, this story serves as a reminder that racism is alive and an enormous issue for schools and larger systems in America. Well, thanks for watching today's video. Let us know in the comments what you think about this story. What punishment do you think Sophia Rosing deserves? We love hearing from our amazing viewers. If you enjoyed what you saw today, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to see more informative videos. We'll see you next time on You So Crazy. Bye.